Morning one and all. Today we'll have the concept of circular queue. We are already know about queue data structure, which we have already seen. Queue is a linear data structure with list of elements in which new data elements can be inserted from the rear end and deletions can be performed from the front end. That we know. But here we are going to see a new a different type of a queue itself. But why we have to go for this new sort of data structure which comes under the same queue thing? Because we could observe there is a drawback with the linear queue. There is a drawback with the linear queue. There is a limitation. So first we have to see that limitation of queue. The limitation of queue is that in a queue, if you consider this queue with 5 elements, 5 locations, and we are saying that insertions they are possible using rear end and deletions are possible with front end. So initially both are minus ones, and by making rear refers to 0, we can insert some first element. Then rear refers to 1, we can insert second element. Then rear refers to 2, we can insert third element. Rear refers to 3, we are inserting fourth element. Rear refers to 4, we are inserting fifth element. So once all the elements are inserted into the linear queue, once this rear reaches the last position, we are saying that this is the queue full condition and our queue is full. But now if you perform any deletions, now initially your front is minus 1 and you make it front refers to 0th location, and you will be deleting this, you will be removing this. So after removing this, your front value is 0 and there is an empty locations in the front part. Now if you try to delete the second element also, your F front will become 1 and it refers to this, and this B also gets deleted from the list. Now we could observe that in our queue there are some empty locations in the front position. But now if you try to insert a new element into your queue, it will check for the queue full condition, which is that R is made equal to the size of the list minus 1, as the rear already reached the end position of the queue. Even we have some free locations at the front of the queue, we cannot insert any values into the queue. This is the drawback with linear queue we have. In order to solve this, we have to go for the new sort of queues, that is circular queue. So what is this circular queue? How to get this circular queue? By modifying a normal linear queue. The thing is, by taking a normal queue, regular queue, and joining the rear end of the queue. This is the rear end of the queue with the front end of the queue. We can get a circular queue. It is that. See this. This is our linear queue. This is our linear queue. This rear end will be joining with the front end of the queue to get a circular queue. So the same thing we can have it in a circular fashion like this, with 5 locations, but rear and front end are, these two are joined. Okay, so this is our circular queue. So initially if we assume that this is our initial position, our friend is -1 and rear is -1. Okay. Now taking this circular cube, we'll see performing the insertion and deletion operations. So take the example of same list of values A, B, C, D. Here we know the positions indexes for the locations are 0 to 4 only, and our n is 5. Now to insert A into the cube, it goes in the normal fashion only. Our initial rear value is -1, and now what you have to do, where we can insert is the first location where we can insert our first item is this 0th location. So you have to make rear equal to rear plus 1, so rear becomes 1. So our rear refers to this 0th location, and now R0 we can keep our item A. And if you if you give a naming for this as CQ array with 5 size, by placing CQ of R equal to A, we can insert this A here. Then to insert the next value, rear, we have to increment. So rear initial, now it is 0, it will be made as 1 and another value is inserted here. Then if you want to insert the third element, rear increment to 2 and rear refers to 2 and C is inserted here. Then for inserting next element, rear refers 3 and you can insert D value here. Then in order to add one more element, rear becomes 4 and you will be inserting E here. So your rear is started with 1 and it moved on to 0 to add one element, 2, 3, 4, and rear reaches 4 to add the fifth element. So once rear reaches the size -1, we are saying that this circular cube it is becoming full. Now to perform the deletion operations, it is the same fashion. We have our front here -1 and we can delete the first element. So to delete the first element, we have to make our front equal to front plus 1. So front will become 0. So our front now refers to this 0 to delete this first element. So this element is deleted once our front refers to 0. Front whatever index it is referring, that location is empty. So if you want to delete one more, our front is 0, we have to increment front by 1. So front refers to 1 and this B has to be deleted from the circular cube. So this B is deleted, our front is referring 1, our front value is 1. Now in the list if you observe, your rear is 4 and front is 1 to have 3 list of elements. So the indexes you can observe for the values which are there in the circular cube. To refer or to access those values, it is that F plus 1 to rear. F is 1 but it is referring to an empty location. We have to start referring the list of values from F plus 1. F plus 1 to rear. We have to use a for loop with the index variable I, whose first value which has to start from F plus 1 to rear to access these values. But now here you can observe the situation. Whatever limitation we have discussed with the linear cube, how it can be solved here. So here it is the situation, rear reached end of the list 4 and in the front we have 2 empty locations. Now how can we add a new element? Now if you consider insert of some h item value is h. Here, in order to solve that problem, what we have to do is that we have to go for using modulus operation. Modulo operation. We have to go for using modulo operation. So as once r reached 4, our intention is to make this r in the next insert operation to refer to 0. So if insert is called the next iteration and r is already referring 4, the next iteration we have to make this 4 made to 0. That is possible. Anyway, for the new insertion you are going to perform r equal to r plus 1. So this r plus 1, if you apply mod operation with the size of the list. Size of the list is n. Here r is 4, so it is 5 mod. Size of the list is n is 5. 5 mod 5, which is giving 0. So if the ray reaches its maximum value, then in order to find the next rare value, we have to go for applying this mod formula. And similarly with friend also. Once, as here you have deleted 2 elements, if you try to delete the third element, f reaches 2, and if you try to delete the fourth element, f reaches 3, and then f reaches 4. This element also gets deleted. Here our f is 4 now. F is 4 here, and all the elements were deleted, and our rare value is 0. So this rare is referring 0 to insert a new element here as h. So h is already inserted here. And if you call insert for one more time, insert of I. So again now your rare will be modified to 1, and now our new rare refers to 1 and I is inserted here. So now the situation is with rare references there are 2 new elements, and friend reached its maximum value 4. So now as there are some elements in the queue, again using our front end we can delete these elements. We can delete, but for the deletion to happen, as f value is 4 now, it has to refer to the next location, which is 0. So again for this front end also, once it reaches the maximum value, to change its value to its initial value, we have to apply the same modulo operation to get the next front value. Okay, so the same thing, like you can write front equal to front plus 1 mod size of the list. Here our front is 4, so it is 4 plus 1 mod our size, it is 5 mod size, and front is 0. So before you perform the next delete, first what you have to do is that you have to calculate the new front value, and then with this new front value, which is the index for the next element location, we have to perform the delete operation. To discuss the implementation of circular queue, that is to write the code for insertion and deletion operations for circular queue, first of all we need to identify circular queue full condition and circular queue empty condition. When it is full, what is the condition to be satisfied, and when it is empty, what is the condition to be satisfied. Because when we are writing circular queue insert code, first of all we have to check for the condition whether it is full or not. If it is already full, we can't go for an insertion. So if it is not full, then we can do the insertion. Similar way, circular queue deletion operation, if the circular queue is already empty, we can't perform the deletion operation. So first of all we have to check for the circular queue empty condition. If it is not empty, then only we'll go for performing deletion operation. So these are the conditions identified for circular queue full and circular queue empty. So circular queue full, it is that your front end is -1 only, so the initial value only, and your rear reaches n minus 1, size -1. For our example, it is the size we have taken 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Initially front is -1 and rear is -1. If you insert the first element, rear becomes 0, second element, rear becomes 1, and third element is inserted, your rear becomes 2, fourth element is inserted, rear becomes 3, and fifth element is inserted, rear becomes 4. Here rear reached the size -1, 4, and front is there in the initial position only because no deletions were happened. So this is the situation representing our queue as full. So this is the first condition, front is -1 and rear is n-1. But once it reached this condition, now if you have performed two deletions, so what is that we have to do? This f is -1 to perform deletion, f increment we have to perform. So our f will become 0 based on the condition f equal to f plus 1 mod size. So our front is 0, so our front is now referring to this 0th location, and this is the element to be deleted. So we have deleted this particular element. Now our front is 0 and rear is 4. Okay, then you delete one more element also, so your front will become 1 and this element also deleted, right? So here our front is 1 now. Now if you try to insert one more element, so where you'll insert rear 0, you'll be inserting our rear current value is 4, you have to go for rear equal to rear plus 1 mod size. So your rear now it refers to 0 and you have inserted some G, assume that. So G is inserted, right? So here now if you observe the status of your circular queue, there is one empty location, it is not full, and our front and rear values are front is 1 and our rear is 0. Our rear is 0. Okay, now you try to insert one more element. So to insert one more element, what happens? Your rear will be modified to rear is 1 and into rear 1, this one only, rear 1, you have inserted I also here. So here your rear is 1 and front is 1 and your circular queue is full. But now if you try to perform another insertion, while doing the insertion, the initial thing what we do is that rear incrementation will do, right? So as the initial step, now our rear is 1, so if you go for rear incrementation, your rear will become 2 and our rear now is this, rear becomes 2, which is referring to this, and our front is 1. Here the situation, if you observe, once this rear passes the front and it goes to the next higher value, like immediately next, it is the situation showing that queue is already full. So based on this discussion, we can come to conclusion that rear equal to front plus 1. Once it reaches the case rear equal to front plus 1, then our queue is full, right? So coming to CQ, empty condition. The first one, we could observe that f is -1 and r is -1. Our queue is empty initially, so this is one condition, and another condition is front equal to rear. So here the situation is, now our we'll consider, okay, we'll take the situation initially now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Initially front is minus 1, rear is minus 1, our circular queue is empty. Now f equal to r, for any value it is empty only. Now what you do is insert one element. So a is inserted, your r has become 0 and a is inserted here. Now if you delete this element, your circular queue will become empty. So to delete this, what you have to do is front is minus 1, you have to make incremented, so it becomes front 0. Front 0 refers here, whatever location it is referring, this element we are going to delete it. So we'll delete this. Once it is deleted, our front value, rear value is 0, 0 and it is circular queue is empty. Now if you add one more element, your rear refers to 1, already 0. So a B is added here. Now if you go for one more deletion, front is 0, it is referring. For deletion, front has to be incremented, so your front refers to this one only, this element gets deleted. So whenever your front and rear, they're becoming equal, it is showing circular queue empty. So considering these CQ full and CQ empty conditions, now we'll see the code for CQ insert operation and deletion operation. So if you observe, it is insert one item we want to insert, so that we are passing. So here initially we have to check whether CQ is full. If it is already full, we can't perform the insertion operation. So to check whether it is full or not, these are the two conditions to be verified. So it is f is minus 1 and rear is n minus 1, that is one condition. Another condition is rear equal to f plus 1. So if either of these conditions is true, then CQ is full. So in such case we can't perform an insertion operation, so we can simply display a message saying that circular queue is full. Else we can perform the insertion operation. In order to perform the insertion, the current R value always indicates one location in the circular queue which is having some data. We already know that. So first we have to increment R value. So if R already, if it is R initial value is minus 1, we have to increment it to get 0. So it is minus 1 plus 1, it is 0. 0 mod n is 0 itself. So into 0, CQ of 0, the first item, this whatever item we took, that item can be inserted into CQ of 0. Actually here we took this condition mod whenever this R reaches the last value, to make it again to 0, we have taken this mod, but this mod operator can be used in such a way, R for the lower values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, if you take 0, it remains 0, 0 mod n value, it gives 0 only. So for the regular values, it remains the same. For where the change is required, from our final value, the last size value, to its 0, then it makes a difference. So mod is getting used for all the iterations. So for this CQ of R, we are making the item put into that. If you consider any other example, for R4, R reached 4 and f is minus 1. So here itself our problem gets stopped because it is showing that CQ is already full. Okay, so this is how we can write the insert code for circular queue. Coming to the deletion, first of all we have to check whether it is already empty or not. So deletion, as and when it starts, we have to check whether f is equal to rear. If it is already equal, our queue is empty. Else we have to go for checking for our f value. It is to delete. Current f value, always it refers to the empty location, right? So you have to increment f value so that refers to the next location which is having some value there. So first of all we have to do f equal to f plus 1 mod n, so that it is increasing its value, and this formula is getting used only when f reaches, for the regular values of f it remains the same. Only when f reaches the final last index value, then this particular formula gets used to change that final value to 0 again. That you understand here. And for that particular f value, f mod n will be doing with that particular new modified f value. In that location, whatever value is there, CQ of that particular f index, that we are passing to item to be deleted. We have incremented f, and the incremented f, whatever value, whatever location it is referring, that value we are pushing into the item to be deleted. So it indicates that that particular item is deleted. Current location, whatever it is, current f index, whatever it is referring, that will be treated as empty location itself. So this is the implementation for circular queue insert and delete operations.